Welcome back. We're joined now by Mike Lemaire, Muay Thai fighter. He does a lot of other stuff. Started judo, I believe, when you were 4.
4 years old, correct.
Karate, kickboxing. You're a very scary individual. I still see remnants of the French accent. Born in France, lived here for about 5 years.
Absolutely. I grew up in France, and I moved to the States when I was 19 years old, to Boston. My mom is American and my dad is French, so I'm half and half. And
you picked up the fighting?
I picked up the fighting a long time ago. Yes.
All right, tell us about this Road to Glory tournament you were in. This amazes me. You had 3 fights in one night. The last fight you went into, you were a little banged up.
You can say that?
Yeah, you can say. You can tell us more about that. You were undefeated in all of them. This is 3 fights in one night. I don't even know how you train for something like that. What is this like?
You can't really train for a tournament. Anything can happen. So a month ago, I fought. The first fight went real well. I knocked him out in the second round with a head kick. The second fight was a war. I mean, we went back and forth, and we went to a 4th round, which is the survival round, which is basically a sudden death round. So whoever wins that round moves on to the final. And then I moved on to the final, and I faced Eddie Walker, who's the current WBC champion right now, Muay Thai champion.
And he'd had a little easier road. So you're pretty exhausted. Well, you get to this
I'm pretty banged up. My rib, my leg, my face, my elbows, my knees. And I go in there. He knocked him out. He knocked 2 of his previous opponents real quick.
Real quick.
Wow.
So the game plan, me and my coach had the game plan was to kick the leg a lot and stay on the outside because he has really heavy hands.
Is that good generally? Like if I'm in one of these, I should kick the leg? Is that generally your move?
Sure.
He's thinking in his head, if you're in one of these, you're in trouble.
Good luck. Let me set
I mean, you got to remember, we got elbows, we got knees, we got, kicks anywhere you want. So, I mean, you have a lot of tools to work with.
Tell us about this fighting. This is a really pure style of fighting. And really the concept for you guys is you lose and you're out, right? This tournament style fighting.
Right. Yeah, if you lose one fight, let's say you're out.
And now the Road to Glory, it's a tour. Now you won $20,000, but bigger than that, you get a 1-year contract with Glory, which is the world's largest kickboxing league.
It's basically the NFL for kickboxing.
For kickboxing.
Absolutely.
And now, so you will, in the other Glory events, be that New York, Tulsa, you will participate in all these?
Absolutely.
How often are they?
Well, they have one coming up in 2 weeks in London. And they actually wanted me on the show in 2 weeks. But I am fighting for a world title, April 6th, Pechanga Casino.
Wow.
For a world title, so I already signed that contract. So the 2 contract interfered, so I couldn't not make that fight, and it was a little too close, 2 weeks apart, back to back. So I'm already healing up from my previous tournament. So
that's nice that you get the world title fight here at home, because you moved to San Diego to train at AO8, right? To really take it to the next level.
And I have a lot of support. So now that I'm fighting home in San Diego, you can expect a big crowd.
I was in AO8 2 years ago when the Chargers wide receiver Vincent Jackson was training with Mel, and so you train with Mel. Talk about AO8 and just what that offers San Diego.
AO8 is my home. Coach Mel is a great coach. I mean, he's taken me to a place that I've been dreaming for a long time, and I'm glad that our path met, I met him, and then since then, in a year, we've done so much. I mean, I'm undefeated still, I mean, sky is the limit.
Hey, explain this to us, because we are just getting into the whole MMA and the kickboxing. We're learning every time. We've decided, hey, the mainstream media, we're a little bit behind in all this. We concentrate on football, basketball. You're 26 years old. This is not MMA what you're doing. Now maybe someday when you're an old man like 30, maybe you'll get into the MMA and all that. But tell us about the difference between what you do and your path.
Okay, well, MMA stands for mixed martial arts. So they fight in the cage. The rounds are usually 5 minutes, 3 rounds. Muay Thai is only standing up. So we use the punches, we use elbows, knees, and kicks. But you don't go to the ground. It's only standing up, just like boxing, but you use kicks and elbows.
So when there's a knockdown or
there's an 8 count, absolutely. And
you beat one of those in this tournament, didn't you?
Actually, yeah. My second fight, I got knocked down by a head kick in the first round, and I didn't know where I was for a second, and I got back up. And that means that that was a 10-8 round, so I needed to win the next 2 rounds in order to go to the extra round. So.
What's your training regimen like, day-to-day basis?
It really depends. I listen to my body. I just trained this morning for 2 hours. I'm going to go back in there late afternoon in 2 or 3 hours. I usually train between 4 and 6 hours. It really depends.
What did your body tell you this morning? Because mine told me to go back to sleep.
Yeah, my body.
There's so much you can do. Sometimes you're so exhausted that
it was a rest day.
It's almost a rest. You go light. You take it light.
Are you excited though for how this is getting into more mainstream? I mean, it's really building up an audience and fans and things like that. And
like I said, mixed martial arts is really popular nowadays, right? But with an organization like Glory, kickboxing is coming up. And it will be mainstream on TV, pay-per-view, just like MMA is. So it's bringing the sport back up.
And this
where fighters like me, we can make a living. We can make a good living. And a lot of guys back in the days like me, kickboxers, will go into MMA because there's no money to be made in kickboxing, right? So now that an organization like Glory signed me, there's more money to be made. So the sport will go up. And you pay more and more, fighters will stick around, of course.
Well, got to make a living. And this was nice for you. You got your a payday, but like I said, more important, you got your contract.
The contract is really
you're on your way.
Push you to that next level.
I'm on my way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fighters. And that's why we decided to sort of go down this road. There's a lot of fighters in San Diego.
There's a lot. San Diego is a huge town for fighting. And it's probably why I moved to San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest reasons.
Do you teach also at AOA? Can people take your classes?
Absolutely. I teach Muay Thai, I teach boxing, I teach kickboxing. We got plenty of classes. We got conditioning, we got CrossFit, we got it all.
Awesome.
All right. Check it out.
I think 808.com, I believe.
808 training. 808.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got some stuff up here online. And Mike, thank you very much. We'll be following you.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Right on. We'll be back. A couple more segments to go.